you want to change how you look, you need to look at what's in the foods you eat. So I broke down this database of the 300 plus most common ingredients in our diets, grocery stores, what we cook at home, and the restaurants. And I've narrowed it down so we can focus on the few numbers that really matter, that when it comes to actually changing how we look. Okay. I look like this now, but I didn't always used to look that way. Okay. And in my process of making a bunch of mistakes, I realized that transforming how we look is very similar to finances, right? Calorie management is how we actually lose the fat, and protein is like the value we get when we're purchasing an expense online. A lot of people like to overcomplicate nutrition and tell you need to overhaul your lifestyle, and ultimately it doesn't work long term. You can make quick fixes, right? We can all lose 40 pounds if we just tough it out. But for long-term change, we really need to have a cold, hard look in the mirror at what are the things we're eating and what are the leaking points. A lot of times people think everything's equal, but that's not the case. Something like, let's look at olive oil, for instance. Olive oil, and I've done this where I had it at 100 grams so that everything's equal amount of ingredients. It's 16 times as calorie dense as something like a lemon lime soda. So we start to realize there's a weight, not just physically in our body, but there's a weight assignment for the things we put in our bodies. And that actually translates to weight. And so when we can actually look at this objectively, have some numbers behind it, we can realize that instead of overhauling everything overnight, we can overhaul one thing specifically at a time. And just to like really seal this in for us, just so I can share my own experience, I was a software engineer when I had my first job, and I gained 20 pounds sitting at a desk all day. So when I was in the position you guys were in, and I said, okay, I need to change my life. Obviously, we all have that vision of what we want to look like. I wanted to look like Zac Efron because he had everything I didn't have at the time. I was just like you guys. I was stuck. I was exhausted. I was tired. And when I did my research, I found this diet, you can call it, where you do a lot of cardio, spin classes, and you eat almonds, which are technically very healthy. But after 5 months, I didn't notice any difference, and I was doing everything according to the plan. I told myself something was wrong with me. I told myself maybe my prime is behind me. But really it was a lie, because in the process, what I discovered is how you look is not based on how miserable you are, how much cardio you do, or how healthy you eat. It's actually, and this could be good news for all of us high achievers, data-driven business owners, people that like numbers. It's actually a very simple system that changes and dictates how you look. And it's a calorie management system. How much fat you have is based on how many excess calories you have. So there's a leaking point. Just like if someone is mismanaging their finances and they're in debt, instead, we don't just completely overhaul the lifestyle. We look at the expense report, we filter based on the heaviest calorie stuff, and we ask ourselves a question: how valuable are those things in our lives? And instead of just completely removing olive oil, let me look at how much I'm using right now, and is all of that necessary? Can I cut half of that by maintaining the quality of my life, right? If I was to lose a pound, removing these calories, knowing that 3,500 calories is a pound of fat, just a little hit right there, would that help me feel lighter and more energized and more confident, right? And if I want to maintain my muscle or grow my muscle, am I having enough protein? Are these things that I'm telling myself that have protein, like pecans, there's only 10 grams of protein, but 700 calories. Meanwhile, something like cheese, which you might demonize, has many factors more protein, half the calories. You can start to play around with this thing and have some fun. So this is why I use it on Google Sheets. This is the database you guys can use, link below. You can sort things from highest to lowest to highest on the protein and the calories. And I built this thing so you can have fun to look in your own life. Now, because I don't want all of us to edit the same device, I'll put the link here. You click File, make a copy. Then you'll have your own personal copy in your Google account. And then you can start to play around with it, have some fun. And comment below if you guys have any questions. I'm here to help, and I'll continue to build this list if there are ingredients that you feel are missing. All right, guys. See ya.